actual gameplay is Trinidad CHAMBLISS and Ole Miss. If anybody doesn't know, Austin Simmons has been out. He has had a leg injury. He's been out for 2 games now, but Trinidad CHAMBLISS has been playing like the best quarterback in the country. Ole Miss beats Tulane 45-10, a Tulane team that we thought was one of the best non-Power 4 conference teams in the country. This game was an 11-point spread. They beat them by 35. Trinidad CHAMBLISS has over 400 total yards, 307 yards, and 2 touchdowns passing, along with 112 yards rushing. This is the second game in a row now that Trinidad CHAMBLISS has had over 400 total yards. He looks super explosive on the ground, and in the air, he looks like he can make every throw, short, intermediate, and deep throws. Now, Ole Miss, I believe, has a question to answer. Because Trinidad CHAMBLISS, if anybody doesn't know him, this is a guy that played Division II football last year. He's a former Division II Player of the Year in his conference, 2-time national champion in Division II football as well. And he comes to Ole Miss. He transfers. Lane Kiffin gives him a shot for the QB2 spot, and he earns it in the offseason. And now with the opportunity that Austin Simmons got hurt, he has been playing like, quite frankly, the best quarterback in the country. Now, I believe Lane Kiffin has a significant decision to make because, like I said, Trinidad CHAMBLISS has a hotter hand than anybody in college football right now. But next week, they play LSU, which could be a significant game deciding whether they get into the college football playoffs or not towards the end of the season because let's call it like we see it. They are 4-0 right now. They haven't been truly tested. But we remember last year they played LSU. They had 3 losses, and you could look back at that game saying if they would have got out of that game, they could have made the college football playoffs. So, yeah, if they lose to LSU next week, they'll be 4-1. They'll still have a shot to make the college football playoffs without a doubt. But this is a monumental game in their season. And LSU is a top 5 team. LSU is another team where their defense has been absolutely phenomenal. It has been flying. It has been playing like one of the best defenses in the country. So, like I was saying, Lane Kiffin has a huge decision to make. When we look at Lane Kiffin and Austin Simmons, a highly touted recruit, a phenom, a guy that played on Ole Miss baseball team, a guy that was a highly rated quarterback. This was the first highly rated recruit that Lane Kiffin really recruited at the quarterback position as his guy. Because when we look at Lane Kiffin with Jackson Dart came out of the transfer portal out of USC. It's not a guy that he got out of high school. So Austin Simmons is really that first guy. And again, Austin Simmons, a guy with huge expectations going into the year. Trinidad CHAMBLISS, that nobody really had on his board, has a hot hand right now. Who do you go to if you're Lane Kiffin? And this could be monumental. Again, Lane Kiffin could look like an absolute genius if he goes with Trinidad CHAMBLISS over Austin Simmons or vice versa and beats LSU. Like, again, he could look phenomenal. But on the flip side, he goes with the wrong QB. There's going to be a lot of questions after. It's always tough, especially I feel like for college football because these guys aren't pros and you don't want to lose a locker room. Again, like I said, these guys are young adults. And when you have a quarterback controversy, it is very important that you are able to handle it the right way and keep your team together because there's no doubt right now people on this Ole Miss team are truly believing in Trinidad CHAMBLISS. Like, he looks like a man amongst boys. So that's the first thing I really wanted to go over. What is Lane Kiffin going to do in this LSU matchup? And in my opinion, it's kind of happened at the worst time because Trinidad CHAMBLISS, like I said, has been lining up, and now you got to make your next decision on an absolutely monumental matchup for your season. Again, me personally, I really like Austin Simmons, but you can't deny what Trinidad CHAMBLISS has done, and I might ride the hot hand with Trinidad CHAMBLISS, especially because I don't know where Austin Simmons is right now in his recovery. Like, is he even going to be 100% going to LSU? And then you have Trinidad CHAMBLISS, like I said, that's so hot you just can't deny it right now. I would not be surprised if Lane Kiffin goes with Trinidad CHAMBLISS. Again, like I said, this is going to be a monumental decision. And like I said, it's going to raise a lot of questions after the fact, win or loss, when you're in a QB controversy. And it's like a 50-50 decision who you're going to split. I mean, I wouldn't fault him either way. Like I said, Austin Simmons was his guy, such a highly touted guy. And then Trinidad CHAMBLISS comes out of nowhere playing Division II football. But like I said, this is going to be a huge decision for Lane Kiffin because, again, nobody's hotter than Trinidad CHAMBLISS. They probably have no more important matchup in their schedule in their regular season than LSU.